Aloha, welcome to Kahu's Corner this Monday morning, beginning of the work week. Thank you for joining me this morning. I don't know if you all were in person at Imiola or online. We had a guest speaker from One Love Oahu, Duke Homa. His wife Eden and his three boys joined us yesterday because some of you already know Kahu's over in Israel. He took a team with him just to go be of service to the people of Israel, um, which is a big deal. We know Kaho's heart. We know his love for the nation of Israel, and to have that opportunity to go there is a blessing to him, and blessing God in that way with the people that he took. For the next few weeks, we're gonna have some guest speakers, and Duke, like I said, came over from Oahu, and if he didn't catch his message yesterday, I will tell you go back either on Facebook, Imiola Church, or on our website, emiola.org, and get caught up on Duke's message about trying to stay in control of everything. Number one, in our life and everything around us, which we can't keep in control. But we just gotta try and adjust to it so that you know our life, number one, can honor God, and that's where we go to get peace and wisdom and understanding of all things around us that's happening is God's word. And it was an awesome message, so please go back and check that one out. I get a couple important announcements this morning from Auntie Sandy again. We talked about it yesterday, but she just wanted us to um, do it in Kahu's Corner and just try and keep getting the word out. Number one is VBS, Vacation Bible School for Keiki. It's coming up real quick. It's next month. It's July 22nd to July 26th, 2024. And then that Sunday, Hoike Sunday, is going to have one little program. It's going to be in a big white tent like we've had it in the past years. That way the parents can come and enjoy what the Keiki learned about God's love. And it's from grades kindergarten to fifth grade. So if you have Keiki within that kindergarten to fifth grade, bring them out. Snacks, supplies, all free. Lunch are all free. And then they have two options. They have a half day option. It's 8 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. And then the second option is again 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you have a full day and you need to leave your keiki, you can take that option, or if you want to come pick them up. Again, it's a pretty cool deal. It's a good setup, but I don't know if you can see that. If you wanted me to just kind of put them here on, oh, there we go. Give you guys the information. Just gonna kind of scroll up. That's the options. I don't know if you can do the QR code on here or what, but again, I'm not too big on computers, but at least you can see some of that stuff going on. All right, that's announcement one. And then the second one is, I would think, probably even more important. And it's about opioids, about fentanyl, the rise of fentanyl usage in our communities. Yeah, even in Little Waimea, Honoka, Kauai High, Waikoloa, Kohala. Our communities are getting really, really affected by this. So we're going to have a get together on Wednesday, June 26th at 6 p.m. at the Imiola Hall, Halilaiana, 6 p.m. at Imiola Church, Wednesday, June 26th. And Wally Lau from the Hawaii Island Fentanyl Task Force and Patty Cook are going to be the guest speakers. And they're going to teach us, or whoever shows up, learn how to use Narcan and save lives. There'll be refreshments provided. And again, I think it's something really important that we need to come by and get dialed in on. So again, I will just kind of go with this paper that way you guys can see um, just some of the information. And there you go. So yeah, really important stuff. If you guys can get that marked down on your fridge or in your calendars, on your iPhone or smartphone. This way, you can make a good use of it. So again, VBS coming up July 22nd to the 26th, and then this month on the 26th, Wednesday, June 26th, is the workshop on fentanyl at 6 p.m. Halilayana Imiolo Church. This morning, my devotion. If you read, most of Paul's letters in the New Testament, he talks about gifts that God has blessed us with. Some we don't even know we have it, and there's a way that you can kind of see what God has gifted you with. It's like a survey, we've done it, and it's really accurate. So sometimes God has gifted you with things and it can be from anything. It can be cooking, it can be setting up, music, teaching, teaching kids, working with your hands, carpet, anything that you do and you do good at it and you just serve the Lord. That's a blessing, a gift that He's given you. I mean, it's endless. The people we have at Imiola, there's so much people that do different things. They build with their hands. They teach. Again, they cook. They even clean the campus. Just a simple thought of getting a weed whacker, coming out, enjoying, God's campus, and just doing it unto Him is really just a gift. Some people don't like doing that. Some people love doing that. But God has gifted you and me with something. If you don't know what it is, you got to pray about it. Hey God, what have you given me that I can just serve you at the church, in the community, in my house, at school, wherever it is? God's going to find a place where He can put you, that you can just use your gifts that He had blessed you with, and you can bless others. And Paul talks about all of these gifts in his letters. I really can't know all the address, but I wanted to refer back to the Old Testament on King David. And my brother Hire from Maui had shared this devotion with me this past weekend. And it was so true how he had laid it out for me. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning. I shared it with the men's group devotion online and on our phone. So I wanted to just give you the blessing that Haya gave me on Saturday. And it talks about King David just before he was about to go into battle with Goliath. God had picked him to be the next king. He already knew David's heart, and He had gifted a lot of things to David that he had to learn as he was growing up. And he knew, he was confident enough that the blessing, the gifts that God had given him, he was going to use them in the battle against Goliath. And we all know the story. His older brothers was with King Saul. They was ready to battle the Israelites against the Philistines. But when they seen Goliath, the Israelites was so afraid of him because he was huge. He had all kinds of weapons, all kinds of armor. And Goliath called them out. They was afraid. And young David, his dad Jesse sent him out to go check on his brothers, check out what they was doing. So he left his sheep. He was just a shepherd, a little boy. But God had given him gifts as a shepherd to protect the sheep. He knew how to use his sling, the rocks, the clubs, simple weapons that God had given him to use that proved true that God was with him and he had gifts. He protected them. It says just a few verses before the one verse we're going to read. Um, and that was his testimony that he killed the lion, he killed the bear to protect the sheep. Um, so Goliath wasn't anything different. It was just another battle for David, but he knew his strengths and he went into battle. Um, but King Saul said, "Hey, we're going to dress you up with all of my weapons, and you can go into battle." When David got dressed with all the armor and everything that they dressed on him, it was too heavy. He couldn't move. So sometimes when we think other people are gifted different and we try to learn what they know, and then we get frustrated, um, then we become more depressed. So we gotta focus on the stuff that David gave us. God has blessed us with, and focus on that and make that our strong strength, and we can always come to the table and be a part of something, and we have gifts that we can use. But this is the verse. It's in 1 Samuel of the Old Testament, chapter 17, verse 40. And this is David. He's talking about David. He picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and put them in his shepherd's bag. Then, armed only with his shepherd's staff and sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. That's all he took. That's all he took into battle against Goliath. And it proved to be successful for him because he knew how to use it. God gave him the blessing on how to use a sling, how to fly the stone, how to use his staff. And we all know how the story ends. He ended up hitting Goliath with one stone. He fell, and he actually used Goliath's sword to chop off his head. But he was confident. He knew what his gifts were. He wasn't afraid. And I look back at that, and sometimes we get timid, or we don't want to be a part of something because we're not sure if we're good enough. But if we don't get out there and try or be a part of something, if we're all God's children, people want to teach, and you could bring something to the table that other people might not know. And God wants us, wants me, wants you to use it to bless others, to be a part of something, whatever it may be. Emiola is always doing projects. We're always serving the community. But jump in. Don't be afraid. David wasn't. He knew. And that can be your testimony as the more and more you serve. And then God going to reveal more things to you. And he was like, I never knew I could do that. So don't be afraid. A good thing is coming out for VBS. Auntie Sandy is always looking for volunteers. If you want to volunteer, like again, to cook, to clean, to teach, to just come out and have fun with the kids and be a blessing, please come out, see Auntie Sandy or Kahu Keith or Kahu David. But please come out to that kind of stuff, be a blessing, find out what God has gifted you with, and just go from there. So anyway, you guys have a blessed week, a good week. Stay safe out there. Allah.